From Colorado's news leader, this is 9 News Saturday Morning.
Officials in Grand County say the man who was behind the wheel in a bulldozer rampage is dead. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 9 News Saturday Morning. It's June 5th. I'm Cheryl Preheim.
And I'm Greg Moss. Thanks for joining us today. The sheriff in Granby says that Marvin Heemeyer was behind the wheel during a 90-minute rampage in that fortified bulldozer.
It started just after 3 o'clock on yesterday afternoon in the town of Granby. That's about 50 miles northwest of Denver. This is video from Sky 9. It shows where the armored bulldozer ended up stuck inside a warehouse-type building. In all, between 10 and 15 buildings were damaged or destroyed, including the town hall, the library, and the newspaper building. Fortunately, no one was hurt. 9
News reporter Chris Vanderveen is live in Granby this morning, and he joins us now. Chris, when did the SWAT team finally get inside that dozer?
Greg, it took a considerable amount of time. Early this morning at 2 a.m., they finally got in. Keep in mind, Jefferson County Bomb Squad first tried to get this thing open with small explosives at around 9:30. First time didn't work. Second time didn't work. The third time they used small explosives, they actually noticed what they thought was to be a door. They then used an acetylene torch to open up that door, and they finally got in to find Marvin Heemeyer inside. Now, this was a very long night, obviously, that followed a very chaotic day.
Things down.
A bulldozer, hardly. This thing looked more like a tank.
Something is taking place in Granby.
He was kept on backing in and out of different companies, houses, you name it, he was hitting them.
Wes Tinoff had the misfortune of getting caught right in front of it.
It was one of the most high-tech things I've ever seen. I wasn't expecting to see pretty much a tank driving down the streets of Granby.
One by one, the buildings came down.
The electric co-op building, the town hall.
Sky High News, Levers.
Mountain Park Concrete, Maple Street Builders, Thompson's Excavating, Gamble's Hardware, and the library inside Town Hall.
He was not a happy camper.
Town manager Tom Hale says the suspect, Marvin Heemeyer, was upset about the placement of a concrete batch plant next to his business.
He was upset that a batch plant was built next to his muffler shop.
But no one expected this.
It was something like you'd see on TV, you know, it's hard to believe.
Eventually, he ended up at the hardware shop, and what had once been unstoppable.
They were doing what they could. They couldn't do nothing.
It finally came to a stop. Somehow, it got stuck.
What you see live right now is actually the town hall of Granby, and in front there is actually a sheriff's vehicle that was destroyed by this tank, by this vehicle, and quite an extensive amount of damage that was done to this town hall. It also doubles as a library. There's a library, I believe, in the basement. We're told he took about 10 or 15 minutes at this one building alone. It gives you an idea of just how much time he spent at some of these places. Damage, we're told, could be in the millions. They'll have a better assessment of that later on today. And as you can imagine, people are trying to figure out why this may have happened. But, as they said last night, and they'll say again this morning, the number of the places that he hit, they all appear to be connected to this dispute that Heemeyer had with the town of Granby. This is a dispute that dates back 3 years ago. He actually sold his muffler shop about 7 months ago. So this is a dispute that has been going on for some time, and a lot of people knew about it, but no one expected something like this to happen yesterday. Cheryl and Greg, back to you.
Amazing pictures. And Chris, we understand US 40 still closed through Granby, right?
It is. There is a detour that is fairly easy to make your way around, but it puts you onto a dirt road. But right now, US 40, because a lot of the damage was done on that main road in Granby. If you're familiar with Granby, US 40, a lot of these businesses are on that, and that's where a lot of the damage is. So they're just diverting people around this small detour, which puts you on a dirt road, but it's not too difficult to get by.
A lot of cleanup ahead. Chris Vanderveen in Granby, yes. Thanks so much.
Chris was talking about how it looked like a tank, and there were 2 pieces of steel with concrete in between it.
Yeah,
just
amazing.
Incredible.
Well, the governor is vowing that he will help rebuild and pledge some state funds, at least the library and the town hall there. So the cleanup will soon begin, we hope.
Certainly. And the 9 News I-team has been looking into Marvin Heemeyer's background. He was born in South Dakota. He lived in Colorado for at least 20 years and has owned several muffler businesses. He currently owns Boulder Muffler in Boulder. Heemeyer's friends say he moved to Grand County because because he loved snowmobiling. Now, over the year, he has been involved in legal disputes, more than a dozen court cases, in fact, including a lawsuit against the town of Granby. Heemeyer's brother Ken told the I-Team he is not crazy, and if he did this, he must have had a good reason. Several of his friends say he was a well-liked man.